Alright, so here I am at the backside of Katori where I can enter water. So this goes into the tank here, and this would connect to a hose that continuously runs into the plumbing of the RV, but only during warm weather because it still freezes here at night, and we're toward the end of April. It still freezes, so I'm still using the tank. So today I'm going to fill that up. And here's the compartment right next to it, and here's the pump. I know it looks like a jumble of spaghetti. My RV repair guy is going to fix that for me soon, I suppose. But this, if it was on, if I had it on in the house right now, would probably be making some noise intermittently, because I cannot seem to adjust these settings to keep it from doing that for some reason. It's pretty frustrating. Anyway, I've got my filter, and I've got my hose with the quick connect on one side, and we will turn that so it's completely off. And then this white hose is for potable water, and then I have a quick connect on the other end to my heated hose that goes all the way to the well, which I'll show you in a minute. And this is the plug to heat it. I don't really need to use that now because it warms up to, like, you know, over 40 during the day, 45 during the day. The sun here in New Mexico really warms things up nicely. So, but in the winter, I do have to come out and plug this in and let it heat up for about 45 minutes to an hour before I go and I do all this stuff. So this is quite a process in the winter. It's kind of a process right now too, but less of a process. So I plugged in this hose, which I actually keep under here to keep it warm from, you know, I don't want it freezing either. And I've turned this stopcock here off. So now I'm going to go over to the well. Follow the hose. It's quite long. It's 100 feet. And we'll turn that on. There's the hose. It goes around this little casita here, which another person lives in. And it is hooked up to the well right here. Dink. So I'm going to turn it on. And now it's working because it's dripping, which this actually, as soon as the weather gets really warm, we're going to stop that. I wasn't doing that till like a couple weeks ago. It started to do that. They just get old. It probably needs a new rubber gasket or something. So, all right, so that's on. And like I said in my last video, I've got to do this about once every other to every third day or so, depending on my water usage. My tank is, I believe, a 60-gallon freshwater tank. Hopefully this summer I'll be able to switch out my black water tank, which I don't use. Just pull that out, put another freshwater in, so I have 2 freshwaters, and then I don't have to fill it quite as often. So here I take, all right, we're having a little, apparently this needs to be tightened as well. I'm going to pause you for the moment. All right. Dripping a little still, but not squirting all over like it just was. And that's why I keep those tools handy, because, well, you know, gets loose from manipulation. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Okay. So I got this little hook on here to hook it up to this fence that's back here, just to keep it up and at the level I need it. And then I take this end and I'm going to open this guy. And we're going to put this on here. It's another quick connect here. And okay, connected. I put this, what is this thing called? It's called Water Bandit. It's a rubbery thing, so it can kind of hang out right there and have a little bit of space in there for air to come out, because if I just stuck it in and turned it on, within minutes I would have to burp the tank and it would go psh everywhere. And I want to be able to walk away and let this do its thing. So that's why this is on here. It can lean on there. I've got this perfect stick, as you can see, with a little branch. It just kind of does its thing there. It holds it for me. Yay! So now we're just going to turn her on. Of course, there we go. You can hear it working, and there it is. See? You can see very well in there. And I can turn it up or down, but any more than that, again, it gets too much air, gets like too much oxygenation and needs to burp and stuff. So I just kind of leave it right about there. It'll take a while. I'll show you my monitor and where I'm at. I think I'm at only 2. Whoops, see, air coming through the hose. I just want to watch it to make sure that it stays. And that should be good. Yeah, that should be good. Sometimes it starts moving and I gotta come back out and I got water all over the ground, but whatever. It is what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna pause and I'll be right back. Alright, so just inside the door here, I've got my monitor for battery, freshwater, black water, which I don't have, gray water, which I also don't have. I don't fill that tank. I have it going straight into the ground. So with freshwater, if I push this, I can see I'm only on 1/3 full tank, you know, 1/3 or so, but it's really like, it's under half. And it's slowly filling, and then once it gets to the full right there, then I'll go back and check it. If I turn the pump on, you might be able to start hearing it make noise, but because I'm filming, it probably won't, of course. But I keep it off until I need it, because it does do that. Let me show you my gray water situation. Okay, back out here. This is where the gray water will come out. And I have insulated this sewer hose and then actually buried it in the ground. It goes into the ground there, and it goes down about 3.5 feet. And it's in a trench. That's why I have this over it, to keep that trench warm-ish in the winter. It's filled with some stones, like pea gravel, and then dirt over top that. And so that's where all of my gray water, which is, you know, water from my shower, water from my sinks, goes into there. And, you know, just gets absorbed by the earth. Of course, if I was to move the RV, I'd have to bring that up, but I'm planning on staying here as long as possible. And let's talk about black water. So I didn't want to have to deal with black water because you have to empty those tanks and you have to move. And I'm kind of permanent here, at least for the moment. So I took that hole right there is where the old toilet, the regular toilet was. Took that out, covered her up, bought this beautiful composting toilet box with all the fixings, except for painting it. I did that, staining and painting. My son and I did that together. From a guy on Etsy, which I will put the link to in the description if you guys are interested in this. Comes with the toilet seat, which is really cool. And then inside here is like a funnel for number 1, and then a bucket for number 2. I'll show you. See the funnel, back side of the funnel comes with a bucket. And then what I do is I use a compostable bag and put that in, line it, and then put sawdust down. I just changed everything out so it's all fresh here. And then as you use it, you get the fairy dust here, which I put in a iced tea thing I cut. And after you use it, you cover it with the sawdust. And this little guy here collects the urine. And I put a little bit of vinegar at the bottom of it and a little bit of OxyClean. And because this separates the solids from the liquids, which keeps it from smelling, keeps that from smelling. And it really does. There is no poopy smell at all. What can smell is urine as you're waiting to fill this up. And I have 2 so that I don't have to run out in the middle of the night to empty this. I can just use that one. For some reason, urine as it sits can really smell. So that's why I found that the combination of a little bit of white vinegar at the bottom and a little bit of OxyClean keeps that smelling fresh. And it's just a tiny bit, and it works. So that's this is all we put acrylic or whatever paint over the, and yes, I have overflowed that twice. The water or the liquid just goes kind of into the bottom of that box. Pretty easy to clean up. You know that you realize you did it fairly quickly. And I'm a lot more alert to how full that thing gets. Now, whoops, there we go. And there you have it. My little toilet room is really tiny, but it serves me well. It has a nice fan that actually the whole RV gets circulated. The air circulates really well with this guy. And then I've got a little medicine cabinet and all my other stuff here. And I throw my toilet paper in a bin and throw that away, separate from this stuff. And that's about it. Let's see where we're at with the water. Yeah, it takes a while. It's trying to get to 2/3, but not there yet. It'll be a few minutes, probably 30 minutes. I'll come back. You can now hear the pump being annoying as heck. That's because I just ran some water in the sink. And now it's just going to be annoying. It would just keep doing that. And yes, I have tried to adjust it over and over and over. And I have cleaned the filters. And it still does it. Just crappy pump. But since it continues to work and it's just annoying, I'm going to use it until it dies. so I can hear the water level rising in the tank. It's almost there. There it comes. I'm going to turn it down just a little so it doesn't squirt out at me. There you go. So I will stop it, let it settle, retreat a little bit. Hey, bud. He's wanting me to open that for him so he can go under the RV, but I'm not going to do that right now because we're done. And I want to be able to walk away. Okay. This is normal. Put that there. Oops, I guess I back up a little bit. Put that there. And put the cap on. She's done flowing out. Cap on. And now I go turn off the well, and then I have to drain the hose so that the water in the hose doesn't freeze overnight. And I don't have to turn the heater on. Okay. Off. And then I disconnect that, throw it on the ground, because I am going to purge this hose. Alright, so back here, I can take this hose off now and let it drain while I purge this hose. And the way I do it is I grab it and I walk with it as I keep lifting it, so all the water goes out that way, the other end near the well. And I can't do that and film at the same time because I need both my hands. So I will show you when I'm done. Okay, so she is purged and reconnected. And this has been hanging here, open, and completely dripped out. So there won't be any water left in these things either. And I will take them apart, put them back in storage. And you can see I'm all full. And that's it. Process takes, I don't know, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And there's a lot of walking back and forth from the RV to the pump to the well and back and forth and back and forth. But that's the way it's done when you want to fill your tank. Here's the mountains of Taos and the farm here. And chickens are not out, so you can't see them, so I won't even bother. Anyway, so that's my water process. And next time I think I'll probably talk about propane or my solar situation. There's so much to talk about. All right, have a great day, everyone.